Welcome back, everyone. This is the final episode, episode 10 of my 10-part series diving deep into Metallica's legendary self-titled album, better known as the Black Album. We've covered everything from the turbulent recording sessions with Bob Rock to breakdowns of every single track, the iconic music videos, the massive tour, all the drama along the way. But today we're stepping back to look at the bigger picture, the eternal legacy of this record. Is it a masterpiece or a compromise? Black Album's eternal legacy. But first, let's do an unboxing of the 30th anniversary edition of the Black Album. Then afterwards, I will get to the story. So let me cut to that right now. Let's take a look at the Metallica Black Album 30th anniversary edition. This one has 3 different discs. So moving on to CD 1 is basically the album, but it is remastered. So it sounds really great. Sounds very good. And CD2 are riffs, demos, rough mixes, so easy listening music. Basically a bunch of different demos and different mixes. This one, I thought it was pretty cool. Not something I listen to that much. I don't listen to this disc as often. But this one I like. Wherever We May Roam, these are live versions of all of the songs. And a couple others that are not on the album. But you have some pretty cool live versions because Metallica always sounds great live. So opening this up now. Here we have some photographs here, and it opens up like this. You have the 3 CDs here and some photos of the band, and there's a booklet inside, so let me open it up. Okay, so this is the booklet, and these images appeared on the original album. I remember these, and these are the lyrics. So you're going to have all 4 members here. And again, more song lyrics and much more photographs. Here's the middle of the book. Here's an image with Bob Rock. Here's some more track listing and liner notes. Here's the Metallica tour bus. Here's a live shot of the band. Track listing of CD 3. Continuation of the track listing with some more liner notes. Another image of the band. Black and white image of the band, which I believe this is from their Moscow concert. I might be wrong though. And there's the band again. More liner notes. And the end of the booklet. Continue with the video. Released on August 12, 1991, the Black Album didn't just arrive. It exploded onto the scene and fundamentally changed the landscape of heavy metal, hard rock, and mainstream music forever. At the time, Metallica were already kings of thrash, coming off the complex Blistering and Justice for All. But with this record, they made a bold pivot. Slower tempos, tighter song structures, massive grooves, and a polished production that hit like a sledgehammer. Tracks like Enter Sandman, Sad But True, and Nothing Else Matters weren't just songs, they were anthems that redefined what heavy music could achieve. Let's start with the numbers because they tell an undeniable story. As of 2025, the Black Album has been certified 20 times platinum by the RIAA, meaning over 20 million copies sold in the United States alone. That's double diamond status, the first metal album ever to reach that milestone. Worldwide, it pushed past 30 million copies, making it one of the best-selling albums in history. Its top-selling record of the entire SoundScan era, which began in 1991, outselling every release in every genre for over 3 decades. So think about that. In a world dominated by pop, hip-hop, and rock icons, a heavy metal album sits at the top. But the legacy goes far beyond sales. The Black Album single-handedly dragged heavy metal kicking and screaming into the mainstream. Before 1991, metal was largely underground or niche. Thrash especially was for the diehards. Glam metal was fading. Grunge was rising. Metallica bridged the gap. Enter Sandman became a sports stadium staple. Nothing Else Matters, a wedding ballad for rockers. And The Unforgiven, a radio powerhouse. Suddenly, metal was on MTV constantly, topping the Billboard charts. The album debuted at number 1. It earned Grammys. Metallica proved that you could be heavy, aggressive, and introspective without alienating the masses. This shift influenced an entire generation of bands. The album's groove-heavy riffs, think the crushing down-tuned stomp of Sad But True. This helped birth groove metal. Pantera's vocal display of power in 1992 took direct cues, slowing down and emphasizing those hypnotic mid-tempo grooves. Machine Head, there was Sepultura on Chaos AD. There were elements of the new wave of American heavy metal that owed a debt. It paved the way for new metal, too. Bands like Korn, Limp Bizkit, and Slipknot built on that accessible heaviness blended with melody and emotion. More broadly, the Black Album showed that metal bands that commercial success didn't have to mean total compromise. It inspired countless acts to streamline their sound, focus on hooks, and aim for arenas. Without it, the metal mainstream explosion of the 90s and beyond might have never happened. It kept the genre alive during the grunge's dominance and convinced the industry that heavy music had mass appeal. Now for Metallica themselves, the Black Album reshaped their future direction in profound ways. It turned them from cult thrash heroes into global superstars. The Wherever I May Roam tour lasted nearly 3 years, playing to millions, but success brought changes. The controversial Load and Reload era experimented with blues, alt-rock, and short hair, alienating some fans but expanding their palette. Saint Anger was raw and chaotic, a reaction to internal strife. Then came Death Magnetic, a thrash return, and Hardwired to Self-Destruct, proving their versatility. Even collaborations like S&M with Symphony or Lulu with Lou Reed trace back to the confidence of the Black Album gave them to evolve without fear. And of course, no discussion of the Black Album's legacy is complete without addressing the elephant in the room. The debate, is it a masterpiece, a compromise, or both? From day one, it was polarizing. Die-hard thrash purists cried sellout. How could a band behind Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning slow down, add ballads, and chase radio play? Critics accused them of softening for the mainstream, abandoning the speed and complexity that defined them. Slayer's Dave Lombardo reportedly tossed his copy out the window. Forums and magazines were flooded with arguments. Metallica had gone commercial, influenced by Bob Rock's glossy production style from acts like Motley Crue. Yet, look at it objectively, the album didn't water down the heaviness, it amplified it. Those riffs are monstrous. James Hetfield's vocals are more commanding than ever. The lyrics are darker and more personal. The God That Failed tackles religion and loss. Nothing Else Matters bears vulnerability in a genre that often hid behind aggression. It's simpler, yes, but simplicity done right is powerful. Every song feels like a potential single because they're crafted masterpieces of hook and heft. Time has vindicated it. What was once sellout is now celebrated as evolution. The Black Album isn't just Metallica's biggest, it's often called their pinnacle. It propelled them out of the metal ghetto into true rock superstardom, as Kerrang! Magazine put it. Retrospective reviewers hail it as the album that convinced the world heavy metal could be massive without losing edge. And for younger fans, it's the entry point, the reason so many discovered thrash classics afterwards. So, masterpiece or compromise, I say both, and that's what makes it brilliant. It was a calculated risk, a compromise on pure thrash fury to reach wider ears, but the result, an undeniable masterpiece that expanded metal's horizons, saved the genre from obscurity, and assured metal's immortality. It wasn't the end of thrash Metallica, it was the album that let them conquer the world and fund future experiments. Over 30 years later, the Black Album's influence echoes everywhere, from stadium chants of Exit Light into Night to covers by artists across genres on the Metallica Blacklist project, the blueprint for heavy music mainstream ambitions. Metallica didn't just change metal, they redefined what it could be: timeless, universal, and unapologetically heavy. And that's a wrap on our series. The Black Album remains a towering achievement, flawed, triumphant, and eternally debated. What's your verdict? Masterpiece, or compromise, or both? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I will read and respond to all of them. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to check out the full playlist. Now it is complete. Every episode in the series, 1 through 10, it's on the screen right here. It starts at the beginning, it goes to the end. It's the first time I ever did a 10-part series on one album. I'll probably never do it again. It was kind of too much, but I did it. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you in the next one.